All right, let's look at this lesson. In this lesson, I'm going to show you some ways that you can learn some theory and apply that to our playing. And what we're dealing with in this lesson is that we're learning how to play over a seventh chord. And in the example, I'm simply using a G7 chord. So we're going to play an arpeggio. And what we're going to do is we're going to play the first, third, fifth, and seventh of the chord. Okay, so in looking at the G7, the first one that we're going to do is we're actually going to play an arpeggio over a G7 chord. Now every one of these will work over that chord, and I'll show you or talk a little bit more about that as we go along. So the first one, we can do every one of these out of our 8th fret. So if we go to our 8th fret, press our B pedal and lower our ED flat knee lever, which is the one that lowers 8. The knee lever should lower your 8th string and the B pedal should raise your 6th string. And you're going to play 10, 8, 7, 6. Now if you were playing a G chord or a G7th chord, that would be the first, third, fifth, seventh, flat 7. Okay, so that is the first notes that you would play over that G7th chord. The most obvious notes would be that. Also, if you enjoyed this video, then make sure to go ahead and press the like and subscribe buttons. You can also join the channel, receive early access to our videos by pressing the join button below. There is a tab and backing track available for this lesson. You can get those as well as around 100 others and other benefits by clicking the card or the link in the description for our Patreon site. Now the next chord that would play over that, or the next arpeggio, is a B half diminished. Now that can also be written in our backing track. It's written as a B minor 7 flat 5. It's the same chord. We can get that also here, so we can play a B half diminished here at our 8th fret, which will also play over a G7. That's going to be the next set of notes that we're going to play over a G7. Stay here at the 8th, press A and B pedals down, and then also engage that ED flat knee lever, and you simply go 8, 7, 6, 5. That is a B half diminished. Okay, so after I played through at the initial part of the backing track that I played with each one of these chords as it was written, a G7th, a B half diminished. Then I played a D minor, which will be the next one. So I can get that right here, a D minor 7th arpeggio. I can hold A and B down, release the E flat knee lever, and go 7, 6, 5, 4. That's the first, third, fifth, and flat 7th of a D minor chord. That will also work over our G7th chord. Now with this one, the only thing is that normally you would move this last note, the C note, down. But it will work over a G7 chord. So that is a D minor 7th arpeggio. Okay, the next chord that we can play over here, the next arpeggio, is an F major 7th, and that's played like this. Okay, so with that one, you are still at the 8th fret, A and B pedals down, you play 6, 5, 4, and then when you play your 3rd string, you play it without the B pedal down. So that's an F major 7. But that will play over a G7th chord. Okay, so now we have a G7th arpeggio, a B half diminished, a D minor 7th, an F major 7, and then the last one is an E minor 7th arpeggio. That is played 6, 5, 2, 1 here at the 8th fret. No pedals, no knee levers. Okay, I also showed this at the 10th fret. A and B pedals down, play 7, 6, 5, 4. Okay, so in each one of these arpeggios, we're playing the 1st, 3rd, 5th, and 7th. So we had G7, B half diminished, D minor 7, F major 7, E minor 7. Okay, so you can play any combination of those notes over a G7th chord. So any of those will work just like I did at the very end. I played all of those over a G7th chord. Now, when you're playing these licks or working on licks, I'll show you another concept that you can do. It's called shell voicing. And all we're going to do on that is we're going to omit the 5th tone of these chords. So on the first one, the G7th, B pedal down, E, D flat, knee lever, you play 10, 8, 6. Okay, that's another way to start working on your licks, playing what they call shell voicings of these chords. Now for the B half diminish, you press A and B pedals down and E, D flat, knee lever, and you play 8, 7, 5. So now we have. Okay, the next one is the D minor 7th, A and B pedals down, no knee levers. You play 7, 6, 4. Okay, for the F major 7th, you play 6, 5, 3. You play 6 with the B pedal down, 5 with the A pedal down, but 3, when you play that, you release the B pedal. The E minor 7th is 6, 5, 1. Now if you play the E minor 7th at the 10th fret with A and B pedals down, it's 7, 6, 4. Okay, so that's. So every one of those arpeggios play over a G7th chord. So then as an aside, you see what chords also that you have right here at the 8th fret. We've got a G7, a B half diminished, are B minor 7 flat 5. You have a D minor 7th. You have an F major 7. And then you have an E minor 7. All right, so every one of those, if you play the 1st, 3rd, 5th, and 7th, they'll work over a G7 chord. If you want to change that up, another way, just a real simple way to change the lick up is simply to play the 1st, 3rd, 7th. Omit the 5th of that scale or that little riff, and that'll help you start some new licks. So you can experiment with that. Okay, so I think that's a little interesting. It's something that maybe you can work out. You wonder, how you can ad-lib over certain chords. Well, actually, you're playing really different chords in these licks. And a lot of times, like I said in the past, I'm not really preaching the theory side of it. It's more or less learning with your ear training, learning what you like and what sounds good. And you know now that every one of these notes that I showed you will work over a G7 chord. But if you want to know the theory side of it, you're playing a G7, a B half diminished, a D minor 7th, an F major 7, and an E minor 7. Okay, so all of those notes will work over that G7 chord. So that gives you an opportunity to learn some single string riffs, or you might start trying like chord substitutions. Just for fun, try those chords over a G7, see if they'll work, see if you like the sound of it. And also, if you played this here, try to find different places to play that. So learn your fretboard, learn the different positions where those notes will be at. All right, so give this a try and I hope you enjoy it. All right, hope you enjoyed this video, and we just want to take this time to thank all our supporters on Patreon and YouTube, and especially our Tier 3 supporter. Also, if you enjoyed this video, then make sure to go ahead and press the like and subscribe buttons. You can also join the channel, receive early access to our videos by pressing the join button below. There is a tab and backing track available for this lesson. You can get those as well as around 100 others and other benefits by clicking the card or the link in the description for our Patreon site. So on behalf of Jacob and I, keep picking.